Alright, had to take a quick break for a second. This will probably be in another video what I'm talking about right now. But now we're going to go read some more and look at some more of this place called Camp Milton. Make sure you watch the other parts so you know what's going on, what I'm getting to see. Wow, I love history. That old carriage over there. Look at that. It's toy. Wow. That might be a brake handle. It's of course where they would sit on those springs. That might be another brake handle. Oh, they're both brake handles. Pretty cool. It's like either a wood pile's over there, and that or it's a well. Let's get back on that trail. See where those other plaques you're talking about. We'll go look at that house in a second. That might be the driveway to get out here. Okay, yeah, this one's different. We have the Apalachicola Harbor Live Oak. The Apalachicola, I don't know, Harbor Live Oak stands at the site of an important Confederate port. Blockaded by Union ships during the Civil War, the port, located southwest of Tallahassee, Florida, was a central shipping point for cotton, one of the South's trade staples during the war. The port was cut off, however, by a successful Union blockade. As a result, the South lost a major source of foreign funding for its war efforts. This tree grew from a seed taken from the Apalachicola, I'm butchering these right now, Harbor Live Oak. That's interesting. Why that tree right there? What's next? We have another one. Shiloh Silver Maple. Okay. In Tennessee, during the spring of 1862, the tranquility of the small log church called Shiloh was shattered by the sounds of battle. Cannons rumbled, rifle shots cracked the air, and peach blossoms from nearby orchards floated down on the firing line like a gentle pink rain. As Union troops won this great bloody battle of the Civil War, today the Shiloh Silver Maple stands in a place of peace and serenity. This tree grew from a seed handpicked from the Shiloh Silver Maple. Oh, that one right there. I think I started at the back end of all this, just due to the location of the Baldwin Rail Trail. Stonewall Jackson Prayer Oak. I may have read this one already. Stonewall Jackson Prayer Oak, still massive despite half of its huge boughs having died, stands in the Shenandoah Valley of Virginia. It is believed to have sheltered one of the most famous of all the personalities of the Civil War, Confederate General Stonewall Jackson, as he said his morning prayers. The oak at Grottoes, Virginia, stands on the edge of a farm field. The road passing under it, which Jackson had used, has since been abandoned. This tree grew from an acorn handpicked from the Stonewall Jackson Prayer Oak. Might be that tiny one. I don't know. Have a great day. Hello, sir. How are you? Doing well. Alrighty, so the Battle of Selma Live Oak. The Battle of Selma Live Oak Tree stood witness to the fall of Selma, Alabama on April 2nd, 1865, and the end of the Civil War 7 days later. Confederate troops in Selma had braced for an invasion of Union soldiers in an effort to bring an end to the Civil War. 14,000 Union cavalry, led by General John Harrison Wilson, headed towards Selma. The Confederate troops were under the command of General Nathan Bedford Forrest, who until that time had not lost a battle. The outnumbered Confederate forces were no match for the Union troops. Selma fell, and the war soon ended. This tree is grown from a seed handpicked from the Battle of Selma Live Oak. Wow. Pretty good. Battery Park Live Oak. Already read that one. Is this one? Oh, okay, this one's new. The Kennesaw Mountain White Oak stands in a 2,883-acre national park northwest of Atlanta, Georgia. Today, the park commemorates one of the few Civil War victories for the Confederate Army during the Union General William T. Sherman's bloody march to the sea. Confederate General Joseph E. Johnston turned back Sherman's advance on June 27, 1864, at Kennesaw Mountain, but the victory was short-lived. By the end of 1864, Sherman had burned much of Atlanta and had completed his march to the sea. This tree is grown from a seed hand-picked from Kennesaw Mountain White Oak, which stands atop Little Kennesaw Mountain. Interesting. Oh, there's even bigger signs over there. Interesting. Robert E. Lee Sycamore. Pretty sure I read that one. Another E. Lee Sycamore. Lincoln's Tomb White Oak, the first of many funeral services for the fallen president who was assassinated on April 15, 1865, was conducted at the White House on Wednesday, April 19th. A procession then accompanied the horse-drawn hearse as Lincoln was carried to the Capitol Rotunda, where he lay in a state until the following day. The president's remains were then placed on a special train for the 1,700-mile trip to Springfield, Illinois. A monument was constructed in Springfield and is now the tomb of Lincoln, his wife, and 3 of his sons. This tree grew from a seed taken from that white oak growing by Lincoln's tomb. Wow. Really cool. Seminary Ridge White Oak. Seminary Ridge was a primary Confederate position west of Gettysburg. For the final 2 days of the battle, Fort General Robert E. Lee, this ridge offered him high ground for observation of the distant Union line and an excellent artillery position to bombard Union positions on adjacent Cemetery Hill. Along this ridge stood white oak trees that sheltered and concealed the Confederate troops and artillery from the view until the start of the ill-fated Pickett's charge at Gettysburg on July 3, 1863. Confederate soldiers left the trees and marched shoulder to shoulder across nearly a mile of open field. The battle line crumbled at the high tide of the Confederacy ended. This tree grew from an acorn picked from the Seminary Ridge White Oak. Fort Fisher Live Oak. Fort Fisher was a major stronghold of the Confederacy, built on land near the mouth of Cape Fear River in North Carolina. The fort began to take shape in 1862 under the direction of Colonel William Lamb. Fort Fisher was vital for the blockade runners who kept the Confederacy supplied from nearby Wilmington. It was not until January 15, 1865, that Union attempts to take the fort were successful. The fort was bombarded from both land and sea by Union ships and assaulted on land by more than 3,300 infantry. Once Williamson fell, Confederate supply lines were cut and the end of the war followed soon after. This tree grew from a seed hand-picked from the Fort Fisher live oak. That's the tree. They've been here a while. That's a big old pine. Look at that big pine. Let's see if Stonewall Jackson Prairie Oak. Already read that. And Apalachicola Harbor Live Oak. Already read that one. What a beautiful countryside out here. There's a little sign up there I'm walking through right now. I'm gonna walk over to that cabin over there and see what that's all about. Actually, we'll hold off there. There's more signs on here. This is the cabin I was talking about. Hopefully if you made it this long in the videos, you're still enjoying them. I mean, I don't really mind if you do or don't. They're just, you know, recording my adventures. That's all they're meant to be. Wow, look at this. They don't make them like that. I already see something interesting. Looks like they have a wood burning stove in there. I can tell because there's a pot going up. Old rocking chairs. You know, this actually reminds me of my uncle's house in Arkansas. He handmade it himself. Interesting. Walk around here. You can see the old wooden fence over there. Might even get this. Yeah, we get to see this barn house over there. Put plexiglass up to make sure no vandals come and knock the original windows out. I don't think I can go in, and I think it's locked, but it's okay. That's okay. Alrighty, let's head to those plaques and go see what kind of history they're spitting. Little plaque here. I'm not going to sit here and read the whole thing because there's a lot, but actually, I'm going to have to. It's talking about this farm and that cabin we just looked at. Let's see. Historic farm features. Although the Harvey cabin was built in 1889, the homestead would have likely resembled a Civil War era farm. Other than the cabin, the Harvey homestead included a detached kitchen building. The structures shown below are from a farm in South Georgia. Similar buildings may have been found on neighboring Southeast Florida homesteads. So we got an outhouse here. This is a sugarcane mill, sweet potato cellar, storage sheds, livestock barn, so like your cattle, your pigs. And in 1889, Mr. Harvey built his home near the Camp Milton site when the state of Florida purchased property for the establishment of the White House field. The Harvey home was moved to the town of White House in 2002. The original Harvey cabin was moved to Camp Milton within a mile of the home's original location. Construction of the Camp Milton Historic Preserve added the barn and farmyard fencing to show how a typical Florida homestead may have looked. Typical farm features, including a livestock barn, sugarcane mill, storage shed, sweet potato cellar, and outhouse, may be added in the future. I see more plaques down there. That's talking about that. This field out here might be where the actual camp resided for Camp Milton. I don't know. I've not been out here, but there's some wooden structures over there. I'm curious about. Halfway that goes that way. No, that goes. Get the sign in the. If you want to read this, you can pause it. Tension of the war. Normal people just drive out here. Battery Park at Live Oak. I already read that sign. Nature Trail, Earthworks, Education Center. I can go see what the Nature Trail is. Maybe if they do like reenactments out here, that'd be cool. Get kind of a wooded area out here. Wow. If I'm wrong, I believe they would go down there and shoot that direction. Or vice versa. No, maybe vice versa actually. Go on the other side and find out. Yeah, they definitely do reenactments out here. I'd love to come out here and do that actually. I think that'd be fun. I'm gonna go ahead and just see the entrance. There's another plaque up here. I don't know what that is on it. See it on the way back. This is a quaint little area. Pause it and look at that. More than welcome to, if you can even read it. I don't know if you can read it. Alright. I'm interested about this nature trail. Nature trail. Let's see what it is. this trail is leading. We're gonna find out. Make sure you pick up after your pets. Oh wow. Don't tell anybody, but this is beautiful. Got a plaque over here. Archaeology, my cup of tea. Alright. Within the earthworks, archaeologists found a cluster of 5 saw-cut